I want to share with you the scenario that I've been sharing with everyone that I've been speaking to over the past few days to contextualize what we're about to go through and to really motivate you into a place of action. So I want you to think of a 40-year-old woman, a mother of four. She has her eldest son is a junior in high school. She has a 8th grader, a 5th grader, and a 1st grader. And a week ago, she was a regular mother. She had a job that she'd work during the day. She'd come home, take care of her kids. And then all of a sudden, this happened. And so she's a good mother. She's at home. And she's excited to take care of her children. And, she even printed out that little schedule and put it on the fridge to make sure all of her children are where they need to be. Her email's getting blown up all week with links to lessons and online lessons, and she's trying to make sure her 5th grader's keeping up, and the 8th grader, she kind of trusts him to do his own thing, but she's not sure what's going on. And we've all seen the beginning, week 1, of everyone together in the house and everyone trying to be strong for one another. I want you to imagine this happening, though, for a few more weeks. And I want to add to the equation that perhaps her husband's very stressed. He just lost a lot of money. He anticipates losing even more money, and suddenly their security and stability is at risk. Her high school child starts to become tense in the house with him, and he's moody and misses his friends. And then start to sprinkle in news of people getting sick. Maybe her 1st grader's coughing, and then possibly, she gets the call about her father or her mother. They're sick. They need to get to the hospital. There's not enough beds in the hospital. God forbid someone passes away. And understand that this scenario is going to play out in hundreds of households throughout the country and in many households in our community. And at every level that you look at that scenario, whether it be from the mother's perspective or from the 11th grader's perspective who had this fun year and doesn't get to see friends anymore, or from the 1st grader's perspective that's just afraid and sees stressed parents, or from the father's perspective who had made all these plans about how his life was going to be, plans that all kind of just fell apart out of nowhere. And what you see and what you're going to see is a tremendous amount of pain. And I hadn't even mentioned the elder, who maybe this is his last few months, and the pain that he feels or she feels. And this seems to be the direction that things are headed. And I know that it's not the rosiest picture. It's a somber kind of story that I'm painting here for you. But I'm doing it very intentionally. And I think that if you are young, and if you have the luxury of not having to worry about your own health, if you have the luxury of not having major financial burdens that really could cripple your family, then I'm really speaking to you, and I want to bring this pain to your attention for a very specific reason. It's because the world needs you right now more than it ever has needed you before. And I know that you're sitting home and you almost feel crippled. Like, what should I do? What could I do? I just got a job and now I don't know if I'm going to keep it, or I just don't know what my future looks like, or I can't even be home anymore, and you're frustrated and you're scared. But what you need to realize is that you need to step up. Everyone around you needs you to step up, to notice this suffering and to lean into it, whether it be in your own family or whether it be on a larger scale, helping your community or even your country. Think of all the elderly who are afraid and who this could possibly be their last month in this world. Do you care about what their last months look like? And if you do, there's so much you could do. What about the 1st grader? Do you want to be there for him or for the mother or for the father? Every level of this equation. So instead of being frustrated or being upset about the opportunities that you lost, recognize that there's a huge opportunity ahead of you. The world needs leaders. They need you to be a leader. Your family needs it, your community needs it, your country needs it. So that's the message. I want you to think about that pain, and I want you to recognize that at your core, you have a burning desire to alleviate it. That you're not okay with suffering, and that's why you don't like to think about suffering. And that you want to step up. And if you want to, then I think that you could accomplish anything. So I'll leave you with that message. I have a bunch more thoughts on this, and I'll be in touch with them in the coming days. But understand where this could go, and understand what your place needs to be. And we'll speak soon.